This is the Bison Football Show with Coach Matt Entz, hosted by Jeremy Jorgenson, and presented by Gate City Bank.
Well, it's time for December football in Fargo. A little breezy and tailgate, but not bad. The Bison got a gritty victory over the Southland Conference champions. Nicholls came to play, but the Bison responded in a big way. Joining me on set is the victorious head coach, Matt Entz. And, Coach, congratulations to you, your staff, your players. That was a great win. I mean, that team won their conference. They are a good football team.
They were. They're an excellent football team. They play extremely hard. They're sound in what they do, both offensively and defensively. And we started a little bit slower than what we're used to. A lot of that was due to Nicholls and their efficiency and the way they played. But it was good to see us get the win. And, of course, this time of the year, one and done. So you want to get hot and stay hot.
I'm fascinated by film study during the week. The players I talked to after the game said, you know, they recognized on tape that Nicholls had some players and they were talented, so they weren't surprised that Nicholls came out fighting.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
They do a nice job up front with their offensive line. They really cut down the splits, so you can't really create any TFLs. They got a big back that'll hit it up in there. Chase Forcade's a very competitive quarterback, playmaker. You know, he just wants to be out there and it reminds me a lot of some of the guys we have playing in the back end for us defensively, just football players. And, of course, the big, long receiver, Dixon, they had, can go up and get the ball.
Yep, and 55 on defense was good as well. Let's roll the highlights and take a look at this game. It was a very interesting game. The Bison started out on offense, and you had a nice little drive going early.
First play of the game right here, a little naked, big catch by Ben Elfson, runs over a defender, and we get the ball across midfield, and it was a good way to start.
Yep, had to punt there, though. Teams kind of feeling each other out, so on defense now, I thought overall Jackson Hankey had a nice day.
He did. Jackson continues to impress, does a great job of getting us aligned, and really has become a sure tackler for us.
I thought Tyler Roll mixed it up well offensively early in the game. Well, nice play to Demetri Williams here.
It is. You know, they had some trouble with our trade shift in motion getting lined up, and great job by Trey just identifying the uncovered receiver.
You know, Matt Beegler, he's been making a few plays here and there. He fights hard, plays hard, doesn't he?
He does. Underwood, Minnesota. Got to love it. You know, our program has had a ton of kids like him, and he continues to impress each week and comes to work. It's exciting to see him grow.
They got a field goal there, so it's 3-0 Nicholls. This is a 3rd and 7 play. Good awareness by Trey Lance.
It is. You know, with them playing man coverage, we knew we could get that backer out of the box, and Trey, with his ability to run, can extend series for us.
Little trick play here at the end of the first quarter worked out real well.
This is really good. You know, just again, forcing teams to have to be prepared for everything, have to defend all the 53 1/3 yards, and great job by Phoenix being able to finish on the reverse.
So it's 7-3 Bison at this point, but Chase Forcade and Dejon Dixon, nice combo. He's a good receiver, 6'4" guy. He wins some 50-50 balls, doesn't he?
He did, and this is one of them. You see, you know, Chase just kind of throws it off his back foot. And, big catch by a big, long receiver. And those are the things that we were concerned about going into halftime.
You know, Trey Lance doesn't lock in on receivers. I mean, he checks down here to another third option here. Nice job.
He does a great job. And that's where you can see his growth from going all the way back to Butler in the beginning of the year, where we were trying to really keep his reads to one side of the field. Now he's being able to see multiple things.
You see this one to Noah Gindor, same thing here. Good decision.
Threading the needle right here. Big-time catch by Noah, but even bigger-time throw.
You know, big play. Trey Lance gets a touchdown here to Jimmy Kapuris. It's his first touchdown. Good to see that. Huge
block by Cole Jacobs on the perimeter, and then Jimmy being able to get his touchdown. Just continues to do everything that we ask as a Bison, and fun to see him score his first touchdown.
Well, Nicholls, you know, put a few drives together offensively here in the first half. They were hanging around, but the defense pinned their ears back.
Great job by Derek. Derek gave them fits all day, and again, you know, being what I consider one of the best defensive ends in the country, those are the plays we expect him to make.
Yep, Jimmy Kapuris, again, this is just great pocket presence here and a lot of time to throw.
Yeah, you see the consistency out of the Rams, just giving Trey the time he needs to be able to read the field and make the throw.
There's the first half. It's 14-10 on our Nodak Insurance scoreboard. Total yards, you see the Bison had a nice half offensively, 275. Time of possession, 16-13 right there, so it's 14-10 at half. Hey, before we get to the second half, one of the toughest guys on the team, Garrett Malmstrom. Let's get to know him a little bit. Frazee, Minnesota.
This is Would You Rather with the 2019 Bison, presented by Gate City Bank.
Would you rather go fishing or hunting?
Hunting.
Would you rather go skydiving or cliff diving?
Cliff diving.
Would you rather go camping or stay in a hotel?
Camping.
Would you rather shovel snow or swat mosquitoes?
Shovel snow.
Would you rather swim in a pool or a lake?
Lake.
Would you rather drive or fly somewhere?
Fly somewhere.
Okay. Would you rather walk 10 miles or go to the dentist?
Walk 10 miles.
Would you rather bite your tongue while eating or step on a Lego?
Step on a Lego.
Would you rather sit on a beach or a cruise ship?
Sit on a beach.
Would you rather confront an alligator or a bear?
Alligator.
Would you rather be thirsty or hungry?
I think I'd rather be thirsty.
Would you rather sit in a tractor or an office?
Tractor.
Would you rather watch a movie at home or go to the theater?
Movie at home.
Would you rather drink coffee in the morning or juice?
Coffee.
Would you rather own a fancy house or a fancy vehicle?
Fancy house.
Coach, what was the discussion at halftime as a 14-10 game?
Well, I think there were some things in the red zone that we needed to clean up a little bit. Again, penalties, silly penalties. There was a third down where we aligned offsides and we gave them a free first down. Some other things that I think we could fix. We were just getting in our own way.
Yeah.
And was it due to having the week off? Was it just that we weren't locked in? We just didn't start fast like we thought we could have, and challenged them to kind of refocus themselves. Let's go back out and get it going here in the second half.
Let's roll the second half, and they took the ball to start the second half here and put a nice drive together and got a field goal out of it, didn't they?
They did. Defensively did a nice job of holding up down there and forcing them to a field goal.
Yeah, no doubt. Trey Lance, 3rd and 16 play, he really scrambles and almost gets the first down. It was a close spot here.
Yeah, it was. One of those situations where probably all the cameras at the game didn't help us, but it is what it is.
First of 2 big takeaways right here.
It is, again, big time. We wanted to win the turnover battle, and we needed to create some opportunities. We always talk about creating possessions for our offense, and that always helps us win the time of possession. And big pick by Michael Tutsi.
Yeah, I know you want a touchdown there, but you do get a field goal though, so at least you get points after the turnover. That's
exactly. It's momentum, and we're building off it.
Next possession, this looked like it had a big play potential, but this is just a tremendous play by James Henry.
It is, again, playing middle of the field safety, being able to read eyes. We kind of had an idea where, Chase Forcade continually wanted to go to number 5, Dixon, and again, throwing off his back foot, put a lot of air on it, and, we were able to go make the pick and a big return.
You know what I like about Noah Gindorf? He's so big, he's really hard to tackle down there. I mean, you can't, even if you get a body on him, he's hard to bring down.
He is. You see right there, defensively, they had a little bit of a holding call and was able to create some separation. Big touchdown for us.
Their quarterback was a dual threat. Nice contain here.
They did a great job by Aaron Mercadal to slow him up, create the cup, and then Jabril to finish the tackle.
This was really a back-breaking drive. A lot of plays. It led to this play, but this drive in general really broke their back.
It was a long drive. It's a Bison drive.
Yeah.
Things that we expected and some of the things that we had hoped that we could have accomplished earlier in the game.
Trevor Height overall during the game did a nice job in the return game.
He did a great job, and we felt like we had an advantage on special teams going into the game. Unfortunately, we just too many penalties in that area negated some of the big returns we had.
On the QB run, boy, Trey can really scoot out in the open field.
He can. Great job blocking again by Cole Jacobs.
Yeah.
Almost getting it in the end zone.
Yeah, you see 89 out there a lot on the edge. He does a nice job. Dimitri Williams finishes it off and really got some separation late here, didn't you?
We did, and good to see Dimitri. He's been battling an ankle, and for him to score a touchdown and get back and help us win the ball game was big. And so as we move forward in the playoffs, it's good to know we have more depth at the tailback position.
Yeah, no doubt. The final score, 37-13, a very impressive win for NDSU. Nicholls is a good football team, and they played hard. Credit to their kids and their coaching staff as well. Total yards, the Bison ended up with 434. Very, very nice day. The rush yards, 265. 171. Really contained the QB run, though, Code Green did against Nicholls. Their quarterback can run the football a little bit. Let's hear what the players had to say after the game.
Can imagine when you don't make, plays you should make, and you have made. Yeah, obviously I was a little frustrated, but at the same time, I kind of think I've done a good job this year, and the guys in the huddle have done a good job of just reminding me, next play mentality. Nothing you can do. I throw the ball on the ground in front of Hunter for a touchdown, throw it high over Ben's head, would have been a touchdown. So I think definitely left a lot of points out there, but at the same time, I don't think it really changed my mentality.
The momentum kind of was up and down throughout the whole first half. We really didn't get anything going just consistently, and so that's kind of frustrating as an offense. The energy and things like that are kind of up and down, and so just being able to stick to what we do in the second half and just pound the football, run power, things like that, and it worked, and it obviously was successful for us in the second half. So
offensive line dominated, just kind of bleeding them out, running them down, especially to end the game. Was big on that scoring drive. So offensive line, running backs kind of took over in the second half, and just I didn't really have to do a whole lot.
Great comments from the players right there. Well, in the postseason, we like to hear the comments from the opposing team as well. Let's hear from Nicholls.
And I want to get to where y'all are. I mean, everybody thrives and strives to do that, and try to have an open date that first week and get to where he's gotten to. And we're just going to keep building, and hopefully we lay in that foundation.
Shout out to the offensive line coach for getting prepared. They schemed me up pretty well to stop me, slow me down, so they did a good job.
They're so tough at home. I mean, you go back and you look at the track record. We tried to tell them today, and no offense against nobody, but we were not playing the ghost of the past. We wasn't playing the 7 national championships, and we were trying to play this team today. But the way the crowd and the things that they do, got a good thing going here.
Like I said, he just made a good play. He came from the other hash and ran it down. So really good play by them. That's just North Dakota State football right there. They respond quick on turnovers like that. Going in, we knew that we can't turn the ball over, especially in a crowd like this. We just didn't get the job done.
Well, the play he's talking about is this one. Our player of the game had the play of the game. Nicholls had turned the ball over a bit during the season, and it was an interception that really flipped this game in favor of the Bison.
The player of the game, presented by No Deck Insurance Company.
James Hendricks knows a thing or two about big plays, and he's a smart football player that knows how to execute a game plan. Safety help over the top was a big deal when discussing the plan against the talented receiver, Dejon Dixon.
They ran that play probably 3 times before, and I didn't get there on either of them. So, they on the touchdown, big play in the first quarter, and then Marquise's pass interference. It's all the same play, and I was too slow on it, so I just told them if I get another chance, I'm going to be there. And luckily they did it again, and I was just able to go there, and Keys forced him inside instead of forcing him outside, so I didn't have to cover so much ground and was able to make the play. When we can change the possession like that, and then our offense can put points on the board, I mean, that's just football right there. We need to do that every single game.
Well, great job by James. Coach, let's talk about the fourth quarter, just dominance by the Bison, and that's Bison football, isn't it? You want to win the fourth quarter. That's huge.
Well, it is, and complementary football for us to create extra possessions for our offense, give them field position down to 12-yard line where we can get it in for a score, and all of a sudden create a bunch of momentum for our football team. And I thought our kids responded well in the second half, only giving up 100 yards. And I think at the end of the day, they were 3 of 10 on third downs. And so we did the things we needed to do, but again, it's good to see us respond to some setbacks early.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's start to peek ahead a little bit now. In the bracket, the Bison will face another Valley team. Illinois State beat Central Arkansas. The Bison get the win. The game at Normal earlier in the year, the Bison dominated the game 37-3, but if you look at some of the defensive highlights here, there was a big goal line stand, and I thought Code Green was really good that day in Normal during the regular season.
We played really well, and we'll take a look at that game, but we know that as seasons progress, teams change. We're going to have to kind of reassess where Illinois State is. They got the best back probably in the country that we have to make sure he's accounted for, and we're going to have to stop the run and play really well on both sides of the football because they too have a pretty darn good defensive line and some talented kids, and I know Coach Spack will have them ready to go.
You know, they have a new quarterback. Brady Davis got injured. He was lost for the season, so Bryce Jefferson has been starting during the playoff run. He has started both games, and he's a young quarterback. He's from the Indianapolis area. Doesn't throw it a ton, but he's an athletic kid.
He is. They involve him a little bit in the run game as well. We'll have to take a look, a smaller pool of plays that we can look at, more recent games, late season games, to kind of see what he's good at and how he's going to challenge us defensively.
Yep, Illinois State, Brock's back, a well-coached football team. They're coming into the Fargo Dome this week. We'll talk more about that a little later in the show. First of all, indoor facilities, the facilities arms race in college athletics, always a huge deal. We'll talk about that. Stay with us. Well, it's this time of year where the Bison start to juggle the site of practice. If the Dome is busy, they head to the Bubble over Dakota Field. At some point, the Bison hope to have a permanent indoor practice facility. The drawings are done, and the dream is getting real. Just the thought of the finished product has everyone excited.
Today's Bison football feature story is presented by Olaf Anderson Construction.
With the snow falling to start December, the Bison football team has moved indoors to the Dakota Field Bubble for practice.
We're going into year 7 of the bubble. They usually have a life of about 10 years or so. It's a great facility, but at the end of the day, it is a bubble, and the cost of putting it up and taking it down and maintaining it and utility costs and all those things, the ability to have a permanent indoor facility allows us to do so much more with our programs.
So the Bison Athletic Department has been hard at work over the last year to raise money for a permanent indoor facility. Right now, Deputy Athletic Director Todd Phelps says NDSU is about halfway to their $30 million goal.
We need to finish up that fundraising. We have some asks out there that could get us very, very close to that. Once that occurs, then we can get a shovel in the ground and get going.
While football will be the main benefactor, all of NDSU's outdoor sports will be able to use the new facility during the winter months. The design features 2 full-size football fields, one indoors, one outside, a new weight room, and a nutrition area. Phelps says the weight room and nutrition area will help alleviate some of the burden on the current facility in the Sanford Health Athletic Complex.
So those are the big components. We have designed it so we can expand. At some point we can phase in some other pieces to it, whether we want to add a full locker room space, whether we want to add athletic training equipment room. We're always at a premium for storage, so we'll always want to make sure that we have enough storage too to take care of all those programs.
Phelps adds, in the competitiveness of Division I athletics, facilities are an arms race, and getting a permanent indoor structure is just another step for NDSU to remain at the top.
I mean, our goal as a department is to be the best FCS program in the country. And to continue to do that, we have to invest in our student athletes, in our facilities, in all those pieces to maintain where we are and continue to grow and continue to get better and continue to recruit the best and the brightest so that they want to come to NDSU and compete.
For the Bison Football Show, I'm Alex Egan.
Coach, when you see those images, how excited do you get? That looks like a nice spot for you guys to practice.
You get extremely excited, and hope we can get a shovel in the ground sooner than later. I know the bubble's been an unbelievable asset to have over the course of my career here, but having a permanent facility would make us one of the top mid-major programs in all the country.
Because the Dome's not always available. I think the general public doesn't always realize that there's lots of events going on there you don't always have access to.
No, there's concerts, there's events, there's shows.
Yep.
Rob Soblik does a great job of working with our schedule, but you know, at the same time, the Fargo Dome's in the money-making business, and so that doesn't always leave time and energy where they can put the turf down, because that is a process that takes some time. So the bubble's been a great asset, but having a permanent structure throughout the summer months also, where rain and wind and those things become a factor, would be critical in our development as a program.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, the Bison are grooming a young player for the center position. It's another talented lineman from this true freshman class, another great find in the state of Minnesota.
The future crop of Bison, presented by Peterson Farms Seed.
Brandon Westberg is from Cambridge, Minnesota, and he was a dominant offensive lineman in high school, and he's a student of the game and a tough, strong kid. He looks forward to battling the best, so when his time comes, he is ready to go.
Some days it's like, man, I'm getting my butt kicked all the time, but also it's thinking, like, down the road, we're going against the best right now, so I wouldn't want to go against anybody else besides the best, because, I mean, iron sharpens iron, and that's what I love.
Great comments there. He's got a great personality. I think he likes to work, doesn't he?
He does. He does. He's a young man that I think for 4 years attended camp. Their high school team comes up to team camp every year. We identified him a number of years ago. He does an outstanding, was a finalist for Mr. Football in the state of Minnesota, and I think that tells you the level of football that he played. When an offensive lineman is one of the finalists for the top football player in the state. So we're really excited about what his future possesses, and he's done a great job. And again, Coach Blazek does an outstanding job with that group.
Sometimes you never know how good a recruiting class is until you get a whole fall under your belt with them. This recruiting class overall, even the offensive linemen have done a great job, haven't they?
Yeah, you go back throughout the 2019 season, you see the Julian Ladarcheks, Javier Derritt, the Mostart brothers, Braylon Henderson, Jacob Lippy. You see a lot of them incorporated into some games or dressing. Part of it's the new 4-game rule that the NCAA has passed, but also getting those kids in for summer shortens the learning curve, allows them to transition a little bit more smoothly into our program. And we think we're recruiting a high-level athlete, the guys that are really good football players that can come in and help soon.
And what do you learn from guys that play on special teams when they're a true freshman and they do get into the game? Sometimes it's special teams. What do you learn about a guy in that situation?
Well, their ability to make plays in space, their ability to execute. It's kind of a unwritten rule. That's kind of where you earn your stripes at NDSU, is on special teams early in your career, especially on the defensive side. And then as you mature and as you continue to learn the playbook and those things, you get your shot on defense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Some fun kids to have in the program for sure. Well, the Illinois State Redbirds, we know all about them. They're coming to the Fargo Dome this week. We'll talk about it. Stay with us. Well, Coach, we've had rematches before. We've played Valley teams in the playoffs that we played in the regular season, so we've been through this before. But this is Illinois State and Brock Spack. What are your first thoughts?
First off, good offensive line, running back that is, like I said before, probably the best running back or tailback in FCS football, maybe one of the best backs in the country. A defense that's going to fly around. They're going to be sound. I know we talked to our team after the game. We played them earlier, but so got to throw that out. 0-0 this week. We got to attack the week and make sure that we take care of the things that we can control and put ourselves in a situation to win.
You like that 11 a.m. time slot? We've had that in the quarterfinals many, many times.
It seems to be pretty consistent.
Yeah.
We have a plan. We'll continue to go about our weekly process. Friday, we may try to do some things earlier so we can get our guys home at a little earlier time, because pregame meal will be 7 a.m. on Saturday. But no excuses. We got to be ready to play.
Yep, good luck to you and the guys. This is fun to watch. The Bison are undefeated, 34 consecutive wins. The Illinois State Redbirds are coming into town. Let's get that dome rocking, folks. Let's fill it up, get it rocking. It's the playoffs. It's going to be a fun week. Enjoy it.